Okay. Spawning at the top right, we have our red undead, the Red Orc. I'll just call him the red undead this game, I guess. I don't. Or do I go with Dark Destroy? I don't know. He is going with a ghoul build. We do see only one acolyte and then the ziggurat, so proper build order. And at the bottom left, we have our blue night elf, Sythren. Ooh. Also, playing standard, no tavern hero here. And we'll likely see the demon hunter if I read his gameplay correctly. Okay, so yeah, we do see the demon hunter, and we do see the death knight. Critter found, which means he will likely be creeping the orange camp first. Okay, I think I have everything pretty much set up now. Yeah, demon hunter out, acolyte backing off, ring of protection. I actually don't mind this item on demon hunter. Demon hunter is going to tank a lot for elf. Not to mention, if you have something like this, it makes your wells more effective in a sense, because you're taking less damage, and you don't have to drop the item all the time to use the wells. So the value from it is actually quite high. Plus DH already does decent damage even without having claws or gloves of haste or whatever. DK, getting a circlet, in my opinion, generally the best to always get for everything. I mean, I guess Demon Hunter would probably prefer a circlet as well, but ring protection also good. Yeah, we do see the tech coming out from the Undead, and of course from the Night Elf as well. Third Moonwell on the way. And it looks like they're just going to creep for a while. It will be interesting to see where our Undead goes now, if he just goes for level 3, which will likely be this, and then sniping the crab maybe. And that is looking like what he's going to do. So play match. Yeah, I wasn't actually expecting to cast another match tonight. And then I got a message, I was like, yo, you busy? And I was like, yo, I'm never busy. So now I'm casting. Yeah, both sides looking to just get level 3. I think as the elf with Demon Hunter, this is oftentimes what you have to do against Undead now, because they go these ghoul builds and you can't harass ghoul builds that effectively anymore. Or that effectively in general, I mean, with Demon Hunter. So just creep your level 3, then get boots and start chasing stuff down. I still sometimes try to harass, but it generally doesn't work as well.
A player's forces are under attack.
I think you really only want to harass early against fiends, because then the undead is kind of weak. But yeah, both sides getting level 3. Will miss the tome, but in return he is getting some free healing rather than his Moonwell, which can be valuable. Ancient War on the move already. And it's looking to be a Garg build. But since there is no damage to the wisps so far, Sythren should be able to tech fairly quickly. You know, maybe produce 1 or 2 wisps and then tech. And 1 lore. Yeah, so 2 wisps, a lore, and then he'll probably tech when the wisps finish. So it's looking decent for our elf so far. But we see the Staff of Telly, which indicates the undead is likely going to harass. However, he for some reason is taking the small green. I kind of disagree with this. I think this would have been a good chance to harass, either cancel a lore and just kill wisps as the tech is about to start for tier 3 for the elf. And the reason you want to kill wisps is because if you, or still deny the lore, is because then you can get rid of dryads. You can prevent them from making dryads, making their second lore. Tech a little late for Sythren, but it's because he decided to go for an expo. But it's going to be immediately cancelled and then detonated, I believe, once he realizes. Actually, can he save this? Probably not. They actually, a lot of damage taken from Sythren there. He lost probably 3 wisps here, right? At least. And now he's making more. He will set up another tree. And I think at this point, since he's cleared the lab, should actually tech and purchase a shredder. But he's going to put a second lore up first. So his tech's going to be very behind. And one of the things I've realized against Gargs is you oftentimes just want Orb of Venom as soon as possible on your DH. But with this tech delayed, going to be a bit rough. He does of course have the panda, already level 2. Might be able to get even more XP from stealing this middle ogre. However, pull not done correctly, and he honestly doesn't have that strong of an army for this camp either. He probably shouldn't be creeping this. And by probably, I mean he shouldn't be creeping this. This is bad. Don't do this at home, kids. Shockwave, boo! Okay. Okay. That was close. And now we see Undead on the hunt. Panda going to drop. Yeah, that was just a poor choice by Sythren to try for the middle camp, honestly. He did not get the pull. And he did not have a strong enough army to take the camp without the pull. His army was barely strong enough to take it with the pull. Just the level 7, that is. And yeah, the Red Orc, or the Red Undead, haha, looking to snipe some dryads and then snipe the dragons at the corners when he can. I believe he already sniped the dragon at the top left for the Sobi mask, right? Because I think that's where you get Sobi mask. But he might lose. Yeah, he should lose his Lich here unless he gets a TP off. He does. Nice pass. Also snipes the Dryad. Oh, it's actually denied. So good deny, but at the same time, you really would have liked to not lose that to begin with. Especially with fountains to potentially heal it up. So yeah, very good position for our Undead player. And Sythren has still not teched. He's producing more wisps. I think, like I was saying earlier, he really needed to just probably purchase the shredder since he had cleared this. And tech as soon as possible so that DH can have, like, Orb of Venom. And maybe even Staff of Telly plus Staff of Preservation on the Panda. And that's enough to defend Gargs, really, until you're beyond 50 food at least. Yeah, Undead, Roots of Quel'Thalas, not ideal. Could be good if there's like a third hero Dark Ranger. Cool loss though. But, no, small losses.
A player's
Ghoul's
forces
not
are
a
under
huge
attack.
component of the army at this point, especially without it being like some sort of mass archer strat. And we do see level 3 Panda, but Dryads caught out of position, neither side reacting properly. They were a little slow there. And good breath of fire coming out. Our Undead player realizing that now he just kind of needs to back out. His mana's too low. He does have Orb, but not the ideal fight anymore. He hasn't really pushed to 50. He doesn't have a heal scroll. Still wanted to sell items, which he just did. Yeah, we'll lose one Garg, but should be able to get away with the rest. DH. Going to keep putting a little damage in, but we'll likely just get a burn and then back off. Maybe steal this. I would actually like the DH to chase and Panda to split off. That would be pretty good for our Night Elf here. Otherwise, Undead might purchase potions and creepjack you here. But it looks like Elf isn't going to creep that anyways, so just going back for the middle. This is a decent amount of XP, but not getting an item anymore because he already got it early. Makes it maybe not the best feat. I do think stealing this was probably his best choice, especially with the Undead heroes low mana and like half health. And we see an expansion play. Very interesting. He's still not reached 50 food. And Sythren has already got his expo up himself. A protector to protect. And starting to add in some damage upgrade. Already 57 food. It's looking decent for our Night Elf now. He does still lack an Orb of Venom though, which will make the fights against Gargs not ideal, especially when they have 2 damage upgrades or corruption. But the TheRedOrc caught off guard again, takes a bit of damage right away, and now with Panda level 3 coming in, he just immediately has to back off. Dryads in too high of a number right now.
A player's forces are under attack.
And I think our Undead player just never really managed to get a critical mass of Gargs over the Dryads. He spent too much on all of this. Double Slaughter, Boneyard, Sack Pit, double Invuln, like no heal scroll. So much spent on things that haven't actually taken effect yet. So maybe he needed a little more Gargs first. Try to pick off some Dryads when you can. And he didn't actually cancel this either. Yeah, we see a huge supply deficit. Starting to look worse and worse for our Undead player now. I do think he was in an okay position for a while, but now Sythren's really started to take the advantage here. One protector going down, and TP forced. Might even be able to pick a Garg off. Okay, does manage to escape with that level 2 aura. Turns out level 2 aura is pretty good. Who knew? Yeah, 2 damage upgrades now. So just looking to kill as fast as possible, basically. Might see an armor upgrade next though, especially because it's cheaper on the wood side, and he does have a little bit of wood problems. Finally gets to steal this camp. We do see some nukes coming off on the demon, and he doesn't actually have a TP, so he needs to be a little careful. There is double staff though, and an invuln on the Panda, and he gets a surround on the A-bomb. Now that A-bomb does get disease cloud off on everything pretty much, but still good for the elf player, especially when there is access to fountains to heal the Dryad. Yeah, double slaughter A-bombs coming out. I wonder if he should just unsummon these and one of these as well.
Attack.
Maybe even his altar if he's not going to get like a third hero. And I think he should do all that before he passes 50 food if he's going to. Yeah, we do see an engagement here. A-bomb dropping low, no mana on the DK. Tries to get a coil off with the mana potion, but ends up getting immediately burned. But focus on the demon. He picks off the demon with the level 3 coil from level 5 Death Knight.
A player's forces
Huge
are
pick
under
off.
attack.
But this elf army is still quite scary. There is 2 more A-bombs, a rebuy on the DH who has double heal scroll now as well. And getting some focus on the DK, does have to use the invuln. Elf still in a good spot. Even losing his demon. Staffs at home, wants to get some more mana for burns, probably pick up the Orb of Venom. And he will see the expansion in the center as he retreats. Ooh, Panda dropping low. But he gets one last slap on that DK. Send him to the Shadow Realm. Panda looking strong, and with level 5 Panda, it's pretty rough for the undead to fight that, even if they do convert over to things like abominations. Level 5 Panda is definitely scary.
Town is under siege.
None right now, but he has 3 A-bombs out. Like, Sythren's army is actually quite weak here. Should be a little careful. You don't want to lose too many triads here. So the Red Orc's doing a good job at focusing those down. Does need to be careful with his Lich though. It has a TP. But yeah, Panda's back. MG is here. And these acolytes are gone. Did not get the unsummon in time either. So yeah. I mean, to be fair, with how far the Red Orc was behind, or our red undead player, I think he's actually been doing pretty good to fight back here, getting dual A-bombs. I do think these should probably just be unsummoned at this point. Unsummon this, use the Acolyte in here, and then unsummon it, and then unsummon this probably as well. And then, honestly, I think if you want to really win this, unsummoning the altar is probably needed too. You want every bit of resources you can, because you're fighting 1 base versus 2 base. And this 2 base has already mined, what is it, like 4.5k gold? So, unsummon, 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 unsummon. For Sythren, I would really like to see a Chimera Roost. So far we do not, because he's been honestly a little pushed back. He lost a bunch of Dryads there. He lost his demon that he had to rebuy at one point. Did he? I don't think he lost his panda, right? Or did he? But yeah. Oh, see an engagement coming out though. Mana burn coming off, very good. Misses the dodge with the invuln, but we'll be able to put a lot of damage on this Lich. And without like Wagon plus Necro support, these Triads are actually pretty decent. And with a Staff plus Staff of Telly, the Panda should be able to keep the DH safe and then get him back in the fight afterwards. Level 5 unlocked. And level 5 DH can be extremely strong with this mana burn. And our undead player, the Red Orc, calls the GG. Game 1 for Sythren. Yeah, it's definitely quite close at points. I think the Red Orc didn't mass up enough Gargs, nor did he get enough pickoffs with those Gargs. You really want to be able to limit the Dryad numbers while they are still in low count, because the elf is trying to afford his expansion in Wisps and potentially Protector or something. Tech. You know, while the elf's trying to afford all that, that's your goal, is to limit the Dryad numbers and build up your 50 food Garg army. But you just didn't manage to do that. He kind of hung around like 40 food, and Sythren, on the other hand, got all of his things unlocked, pushed up to actually like 57 food, had a good wisp count on wood, and just held on strong, got level 3 Panda. Okay, game 2. At the bottom left, our green night elf. It is Sythren, aka Anar, going once again with a standard build, likely Demon Hunter again. And at the top right, we have our orange Undead, also known as the TheRedOrc or Dark Destroy. And he is once again going for the Ghoul build, likely going to creep his Death Knight up at the start. So it may very well be another both sides creeping to level 3 as fast as possible. But there is definitely some room for variation. Sometimes you will see the Undead go for a fast expansion instead. Yeah, it is the Demon, or the Death Knight, and it is actually a keeper. So, Sythren mixing it up here. He will likely try to expand now instead, and maybe a mass archer. This map does have some decent choke points. You know, choke points here, some choke points here, here. You know, there's choke points all around on this map, so a mass archer keeper strat could be very viable. Or what's more standard is mass dryads into fighting off the first push, and then tech into their MG edition. But we'll decide, or we'll see what he decides to pull off here. Undead, on the other hand, is looking to potentially go expansion himself. We see double skull. Will he creep a green first to get skeletons? Or does he have a critter killed along the way here? I don't actually see a critter killed. So this is actually a bit rough. Oh, never mind. It's here by the Acolyte. Okay. He does have skeletons then. But Sythren saw it right away and has a wisp here. This one will be... Okay, it got detonated. So good play there. And treants coming out. These ghouls should take quite a bit of damage, especially with the treants not getting ensnared. And a good wisp deto. Now he will remove the rest of the blight by killing the ziggurat. And he should be able to with the keeper's damage and another set of... Oh, he missed the treant. Only one treant. Oh no. He really needed that second treant, and he needed to focus this down. It's actually going to get up now. He will kill the Acolyte. He did kill a ghoul. I'm not sure if he killed another ghoul. He might have. But Acolyte, ghoul down. But there is a tower up, and is still has half health. And Sythren, on the other hand, is low mana. Will it be? It is. It's an all-in Huntress AP push, most likely. Does get another ghoul, but we'll have to just retreat now, use up all of his moonwells. He only has 2 moonwells, so he will not be full mana off this. But with the expansion this late, he can definitely pressure with Huntresses pretty easily, and the tower is already half health. So not necessarily bad, but we do see repair coming out. Very smart from the Red Orc. And he's continuing to get some creeping done. Wand of Illusion can definitely be pretty powerful to absorb a lot of Huntress damage. Sythren coming back in. He has 200 mana to work with. Was not able to get back up to full. But we have what, 6 ghouls and an Erubian. 1 ghoul, or a 7th ghoul was picked off already though. And we have illusions as well. So not the easiest fight for Sythren here. He really needs like 5 Huntresses and then maybe a couple glaives after.
A town is under siege.
His moonwells were also late, and he has not queued up his next 2 Huntresses yet. Oh no. Oh no, he's putting up protectors. That's what he's been doing. His wood's actually a little low though. He's barely even able to afford more Huntresses. Yeah, does good job picking off 2 acolytes right away. But this army, is main purpose is just a distraction. The real push is going to happen at the main. And the Red Orc is not aware of that yet. But pretty soon, we are going to see Sythren switch his focus over to here. And this push will hurt. The Undead will likely lose his Necropolis. And the Undead without a tech is a lot easier to push off with this elf army. There's no Necropolis here, so we can't upgrade to Halls of the Dead over here. And yeah, this is going to die. I don't see him holding against 3 protectors. So he's going to need to make a Necropolis here at some point. But his tech will be extremely delayed, even with that. And Sythren looking to push in with 4 hunts and 1 glaive. Another glaive on the way.
A town is under siege.
Would like to see 1 damage upgrade and a couple more wisps, so he actually has wood. But yeah, graveyard not even out. He does start his tech, but I don't think this is actually going to work. When the glaive starts coming, yeah, he cancels the tech. He realizes this is going to die. He can't protect it. Should see an entangle here. Good pickup. Yeah, these are all dead. Sometimes you can defend in the backline with the ziggurats, but I don't think you can even get the glaives. Okay, this is a good play though, but he doesn't have a TP. So ideally what you want to do here is threaten the tree, so the elf has to TP, and then you can do something like TP back to your base and defend. But since you sell your TP at the start, it's not really going to work too well. He's going to lose at least 1 ghoul. Does force the elf out, but honestly these 3 protectors are still strong enough anyways. So it's still looking really good for our Night Elf player. 2 more glaives on the way will make quick work of this Necropolis. And yeah, the Red Orc is doing the right play though. He's rebuilding at his expansion. He knows he has to tech over here. And Acolyte's just kind of stalling at this point by repairing a bunch. Do you want to make sure you get some mining in? Probably. Rather than just kind of completely siphoning gold. But yeah, Sythren just diving in. He knows this army can't really, or that there's no army that can stop him currently. But we do see a pick off on a Moonwell, and another Moonwell going to likely die. So very good for the Red Orc to do so. But the Red Orc does need to respond to these. He can't let his upgrading Necropolis die here.
A player's forces are under
Has two
attack.
ghouls. Very nice play. And Sythren needs to respond to this as well. He does not have many wisps either. He needs to start reproducing wisps, but he doesn't even have... He doesn't have wisps and he doesn't have moonwells. Sythren. Okay, he's making 2 moonwells here. Still pretty close though, but the Red Orc needs to either threaten the main or deal with the glaives.
A town is under siege.
I mean, the elf should be ahead, but this is definitely not ideal. So he is going to lose his Necropolis here.
A player's forces are under attack.
And Sythren is looking to finish off the top right. And the Red Orc's not really mining at this point. But Sythren, he didn't respond with his full army, it's only his keeper. Okay,
A town
does
is
still
under
have
siege.
enough. If the Red Orc commits to this, he might be able to kill it though, because Sythren doesn't have much wood. I think that's why he put 3 wisps on wood actually. But with one more coil here, yeah, we might actually see him managing to kill this tree if he commits to it. And then if he can somehow tower up and defend this, like just full in aggro on the glaives with ghouls, we could see our Undead player still do something here. Ooh, but now he is backing off now. He wants to get a surround, and this could actually kill the keeper because he has no TP, no Staff of Telly. But Sythren doing a good job running it back. And now his tree is quite healthy again. It will be very hard to completely take it out.
A player's forces are under attack.
I don't even know what to say.
A town is under siege.
These games can get really crazy. You see the Death Knight? He's getting focused. He has no TP. But there's no more entangle for 15 more mana. He's surrounded. He can't get out. Sythren's done it. He's taken the DK out. And our Undead player, the Red Orc, probably starting to realize it's a very uphill battle from this
A
point.
player's forces are
Sythren
under
has
attack.
5 glaives, starting to destroy all of the remaining ziggurats. And there's just nothing left here to defend.
A town
Only a
is
few
under
ghouls,
siege.
all at half health. And this is looking like the end for our Undead player. Does actually rebuy his DK at the tavern, takes out 2 of the glaives, but just a little too late, and he does call the GG. And we see a 2-0 for Sythren over the Red Orc. That was a pretty close game though. If the protectors hadn't got up so easily at the main base, it could have been a lot different.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sweet. How's it going?
Fine. Actually cast quite a few games today, so that was cool.
Nice. Busy day.
Yeah, there was like a bunch around like 3 to 5 hours ago, or 2 to 5 hours ago. But yeah, a little late night game here. How are you feeling after that 2-0 win?
Pretty good, pretty good. I practiced a lot for it, actually.
Uh, did you feel pretty comfortable the first game, or were there some parts where you got worried, especially the middle camp?
Dude, that middle camp was a nightmare. It was like an absolute nightmare, and especially for only a Medallion of Courage. I was shitting my pants. Not that Medallion of Courage is bad on a panda. It's actually like the best stat item. But I was not having a good time with that one.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where sometimes you miss the pull, but you're like, dude, I still want to do this camp, and then
Yeah,
it's just not the right decision.
yeah, it backfired on me pretty hard.
But after that, you still ended up sticking in the game. You had your expansion canceled once, but got it up no problem afterwards. Um, when did you really start feeling comfortable? I guess.
As soon as I saw the first A-bomb, I started feeling comfortable. As soon as there was like a transition away from Gargs, I was like, okay, I can pull this off now. 'Cause especially with Breath of Fire, I started feeling much more comfortable. And when I was able to start taking shop control and leaving my sentry ward outside his base and getting the cancel in his expo, I was like, okay, I'm kind of in full control now.
I was definitely a little worried for a while when it felt like you had to build a lot of extra wisps and your tech was extremely late. But you managed to keep your dryads alive and had quite a healthy count of dryads too. I think you pushed like 57 food on them pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep, I broke straight away.
So yeah, that worked out pretty well.
That was a plan of mine. I was like, well, I don't feel comfortable against Maskarg unless I've broken to like 50, 55, 60 food of dryad.
And then second game. Second game got a little interesting at the end with a lot of your base dying.
Yeah.
But you did still have quite a lot on his side of the map with your glaives, your protectors. Were there moments you were starting to maybe worry about your decisions, or did you feel like you still had quite a decent advantage?
I still felt pretty in control. I used the TP a little early, I think. And after the TP, I was like, oh, wait a minute. If we're base racing, I still have buildings. He still has to kill like all my APs. So I feel pretty confident about that. I just have to not let him get an expansion at my main. You know, so I have to... I started hunting out acolytes at that point and like going specifically for them. And then he brought like 5 and I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I think for me, the only worry I really saw was when... or the worry for you would be, there was one point where you had like 1,000 something gold, but you were like 20 wood and like no wood wisps, and he started attacking your tree, and I was like, I don't know, is he going to be able to repair this when he has no wood? But
yeah, I think my hunts and keeper came in. Like,
you managed to defend just in time. Did get a little weak on the tree, but had just enough.
Yeah, you probably saw, but I unloaded my whole gold mine and I was like, fuck it, I need wood, and
you put 3
on lumber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was definitely the right choice. You needed that little bit of extra wood.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I think it's a good play. I've definitely tried that myself sometimes, doing you kind of distract at the expansion, and then you get protectors up at the main, and the goal is... The first goal is like deny the tech, right? Sometimes you can kill the graveyard and the necropolis at the main, and that just sets you in a good position if they can't pump fiends or gargs or second hero. So yeah.
Yeah, when I saw him cancel his attack at his main, I felt much better about the game, because I was like, okay, well, he's going to attack at his expo, but I'm going to be able to kind of break the main beforehand, which didn't actually end up happening. But then when I got over to his expo, his tech was still not finished, so I was like, okay, maybe there's a good chance now.
And then I think that's about all I have for the games. Any closing comments or shout outs again?
I want to apologize to RedOrc. I've been telling him all week, like the past 2 weeks, that I would only play DH basically. and then I practiced the all-in on EI, and I was, after we did our bans, I was like, oh crap, wait a minute, I banned EI on accident. not meaning to do that because it was like the one map I had practiced on, and then I was like, all right, well, I'll just do it here.
Yeah, it worked
So
out well.
Yeah, I've practiced a lot of keeper on LR, so I felt comfortable with him.
Did were you still going to be comfortable if he didn't try to expand, or?
Yep, because I also do keeper mass dryad with DH second on LR.
And then let's see, is your score already input on the site? I think it is. So you're sitting 2-2 right now, looking in an okay spot, particularly for top 4. It's still definitely really close though. Yeah, are you feeling confident about that? Or?
Yeah, I gotta beat Lizard. I lost to Bash, so I gotta beat Lizard, and then I gotta beat Dazzle and RC New, and I think Dazzle and RC New, I haven't watched their games yet, so I'm not exactly sure, but I played RC New. I don't think I've ever lost to RC New on ladder, so I feel comfortable and confident there. Dazzle we'll have to see. But if I can do that, I'm confident in going back to the top 4.
Nice. Okay. Well.
And
yeah.
Yeah, and then hopefully I just don't. And then hopefully I just don't play Bash again in the top 4 because he outclassed me. I gotta be honest with it.
He can definitely play very good. I know he's been in the group with a lot of the players in the group, just one higher even too. Like he was with Lucker for a long time in Washed Up League, so he definitely can perform quite well. But yeah, good job on the 2-0. Good luck in your future games, and yeah, maybe we'll see more of your games next week too. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll let you know if they're at a decent, reasonable time.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Pokey.
See you.
See you, man.